Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Muphidaht and I'd like it if you click down below to subscribe to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking you guys through a detailed, up-to-date how to contour and highlight. It's been so long since I did one of these, so we're gonna get into the details of how to contour and highlight, how to place your products on your face so you can get the best out of your products and look the best and feel really confident. Yeah, so if you want to see how this video goes down, grab your products and let's get right into it. Okay, starting off, if you want your products to look good on your skin, I always suggest to do your eyebrows first because it kind of gives you like the structure of the face. It kind of puts everything in perspective. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows. I'm gonna just skip through. I'll show you guys the products that I am using. Going in with my e.l.f. brow laminating gel. I've been obsessed with this product ever since I tried it out. So you're gonna move on to the base. So first off, you want to prime your skin. Use a primer that works for your skin type. I'm gonna use the Milk Pore Eclipse primer. You want to make sure your primer stays on for a minute or two to absorb. Of course, do moisturizer, do your skincare before you do your makeup. But yeah, I'm gonna let my primer sit down and just absorb into my skin for a minute or two. For foundation, my favorite, the Maybelline Newbie Matte foundation. I've literally been loving this foundation ever since I tried it out. I always like to blend out with a brush and then I go in with a sponge to pick up any excesses. A brush just blends out the products evenly. Going over with a sponge to pick up any excess product. When you are applying your makeup, you want to make sure that you are blending seamlessly. Just in case you put on a little more products than anticipated, always use a sponge to just pick up any excesses. If you want a very full coverage, use your brush to blend it out. If you want a lighter coverage, use your sponge to blend it out. If you want a much more flawless coverage, use your brush to blend it out and go over with a sponge to pick up the excess products. So when it comes to cream contour, I like to use a product that is 2 to 3 shades darker than my foundation shade. This is gonna give me structure and shadows on my face. I also like a warmer contour, which is termed like a cream bronzer these days rather than a cool toned contour products, just because it just makes me look so much better. Yeah, I like to use my Huda Beauty stick foundation in the shade Coffee Bean. This is the hollow of my cheekbone where I would naturally place the product, but I realized that placing it slightly above the hollows of my cheekbones just gives me a much better result. So I'm going to place that right on top of my cheekbone like this, and I like to put that in my hairline and temples and right on top of the cheekbone again. I also like to place the product right on my chin and jawline to give me some dimension and structure. I also like to put it at the sides of the bridge of my nose and on top of my eyelids, just because it gives a much nicer look. I don't know, it just brings everything together, and that is typically where I like to apply my cream contour product. So we're gonna go ahead and blend this out. I'm gonna use my contour brush from Real Techniques. I like to blend what is on my temples and forehead into my hairline so that there's no line of demarcation, so that I just kind of blend into the skin, so like so. And then for the cheekbones, I like to blend it upwards just like so. And then for the jawline, I also blend it upwards like so. You can see it's giving structure. For the nose contour, I like to blend it up into the front part of my eyebrows like this. And then just down the sides of the bridge of my nose. And then on my eyelids, I just kind of blend it out and just avoid the brow bone area. But I just sort of blend it all over my eyelids and just kind of wing it out like this. It looks crazy, but it looks good. For blush, I'm gonna use a liquid blush. This is a skippable step, honestly, so you can just skip it or stick to it. I like to use this blush from e.l.f. It looks really natural. Where you want to place it is right on the apples of the cheekbones, but not here, like right here, like where you actually feel the cheekbone. I used to put it on the apples of my cheeks, but I realized that it just made me look a little crazy, so now I put it right on top of where I apply the contour and the side of my face. But then when blending it out, I kind of bring it to the apples of my cheekbones and just spread it out on top right here at the sides of my face, so it looks like this. I'm using the tapered cheek brush from Real Techniques. All of these brushes are linked on my Amazon storefront, so you can definitely check it out. So this is why I'm applying the blush. I want to show you guys. I'm blending one side just to show you guys what it looks like. This is the shade Bronze Bombshell from e.l.f. It is one of my favorite liquid blush. It looks really natural and just so subtle. As you can see, even though I didn't apply it on the apples of my cheeks, it kind of ended up getting there because I blended it out. So definitely make sure that you're applying it right here so that when blending it out, it will spread out. If I had applied it right on top of the apples of my cheeks, it would have come all the way in here, and we do not want that. Again, I know it looks a little crazy, but trust the process. Trust the process, guys. The next thing is highlighting. I'm gonna be using a concealer that is 2 to 3 shades lighter than my skin tone. I'm gonna be using the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm gonna place that in here, and then right here, the tip of my nose and the bridge of my nose, on my forehead as well, and my chin. I'm also gonna go in with a lighter concealer just in here and just leave it at that. So I'm gonna let this sit on my face, especially what's under my eyes. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit before I blend it out. It's gonna give me more coverage and it's just gonna look really good. I'm gonna start blending out what's on my chin. Again, I like to use a brush because it gives me control of where the product goes. I am a sucker for precision, so I'll use my brush just so I can keep the products there. This just gives a lift to the face. crazy. So we're gonna grab the brushes that we used earlier with no extra product. I'm gonna go back in with my foundation brush. Just going over, and then we're gonna go into the contour brush. Gonna go over any harsh lines, no extra product. Then the blush brush. And then now in with a sponge, just going over everywhere. Now everything looks nice and soft, and it looks very good. At this point, if you want a more highlighted under eye, you can go in with a lighter concealer. If you want a much more natural look, you can just keep it as is. Everything looks blended in. Now we're gonna move on to setting the face. I'm gonna go into the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder in the shade 312 Golden to set my under eye, because I want my under eye to look really good and last very long. So I realized when I use a pressed powder before using a loose powder, it looks so good. However, you can just skip the pressed powder and use your loose powder to start setting where you apply your lighter concealers. I set my under eye because I tend to crease, so I like to go underneath my under eye with my brush, and then my sponge, and then I'm gonna use a powder puff to set it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start setting with my powder. I like the Revolution powder from Revolution banana powder. I'm gonna use that to set everywhere, so I'm gonna go under my under eye as well. And then we're gonna start setting the contour. So what you want to do is iron out any creases by going back in with the brush you used to blend out the cream contour. So what's on my eyelid, like I said, I crease on my eyelid, so I just iron out any creases like this, and then I just go in with my brush and I just push that powder in there, just a little bit of the setting powder. It doesn't change the color of the under eye, it just kind of sets all the oils in, as you can see. We're gonna use a bronzer. This one is from NARS. This is the NARS Laguna 06. I'm gonna use that to push that everywhere that I apply the cream bronzer to. And then I'm gonna use the bronzer on my eyelids as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and dust off the baking. And if you have extremely oily skin, I always suggest that you go over your face with a powder that is close to your skin tone. This one is from the Lip Bar, and what I like to do is just go in with a little bit powder and just lightly dust it all over my face. And then I'm gonna go in with powder blush just to bring everything together. So if you didn't use liquid blush, this is where you like to apply your powder blush. I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush, and I'm just going to put that where I put the liquid blush before. And it looks like this. So the next step is to set everything down. I'm gonna use the Milani Make It Last setting spray. So at this point that I've set my face, this is when I like to apply my mascara, do my finishing touches. So I like to just go in with my mauve. And then I like to do mascara. So if you didn't do falsies, this is when you apply your mascara. So when I like to apply highlighter, I like to put highlighter in here, my brow bone, tip and the bridge of my nose. So guys, this is the finished look. As you can see, everything looks nice and blended together. Let me just bring you guys in here. Oh my god, my forehead is really out to play. Yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like in the natural light. So yeah, that's pretty much it for contouring and highlighting. I hope this video was helpful. I will definitely tag all the products that I use for you guys to check out. The lip, I use the Lip Bar's Boss Lady. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Take care guys. Bye.